Yes, fight fans, body and mind sports, my people. You are fully appreciated in this round, my guys, my people. Let's get right at it. First off, though, I must apologize. My internet this past week has been horrendous, just not working at all. So that has been the main issue. We finally got it sorted out just yesterday. The engineer came through and he was yeah, he did great. He did great. So now we're back, but apologies all the same to all the subscribers and my viewers who mean a lot, you know, in growing the channel. But with that said, let's move on swiftly, and I want to use this one to talk about the news and the updates this week. But first, though, I want to talk about Bam Rodriguez. Bam Rodriguez, what is he going to be doing next after becoming 3 division champion? He's also number 4 pound for pound in the Ring magazine. Plus, for me, pound for pound, one of the most exciting fighters in the world, on the entire planet right now. Very entertaining to watch, and a future first ballot Hall of Famer, and only 26 years old. He is definitely going places, Bam Rodriguez. And yeah, he became a 3 division champion. He defeated WBA bantamweight champion Antonio Rodriguez. That was 2 weeks ago in San Antonio, Texas. And I did feel, though, that it wasn't the best performance from Bam. He just got hit a lot in the fight. But maybe that was due to Antonio Vargas. Maybe he was underestimated, even though he was the champion and a former Olympian. And he did great. He did great in the early stages. After 4 rounds, I actually had the fight level. But I always thought that the pace, the aggression, the volume that he was fighting at, that he was fighting Bam's fight really. Delaying the inevitable stoppage that came in the 6th via a sublime, well-timed uppercut from Bam Rodriguez. But that came after the sweeping left hook in the 5th round that dropped. That dropped Vargas, right? That dropped him. So yeah, man, Bam is dangerous. Bam is dangerous, and he did look levels above in the fight. Eddie Hearn thought so as well, and he was super ecstatic, and he believes that the time is now for him to go up to super bantamweight to fight the elite undisputed champion Naya Inoue. And he does have genuine concerns that Inoue maybe sooner rather than later might move to 126, and so will become out of reach. And then worries that he's aging. Father Time could be catching up at 33 years old. Right, it is quite common in the lower divisions for Father Time to catch up earlier rather than later. So genuine concerns there. However, I do hear what Robert Garcia is saying, though. And what Robert Garcia is actually saying is that Naya Inoue is not really that much of a big super bantamweight. So moving up to 126 is only going to get harder. And he doesn't see Naya Inoue moving up anytime soon. So they are going to take their time. They're not going to rush. They want to become more acclimated to bantamweight after Bam has just relinquished his titles at super flyweight and just moved up to the bloody damn division. He just moved up, right? So why rush and move up straight away? Essentially, or should I say, theoretically making it like he's moving up 2 divisions to rush to Naya anyway. Why do that? So yeah, Robert Garcia thinks they should try a unification with Christian Medina, the WBO champion at bantamweight, and they want that in October in San Antonio, Texas, Bam's very own backyard. And yeah, that's how they want it, man. And I love it. I love it because I was concerned with Bam's performance. Naya Inoue is dangerous, man. The power, you want to rush to him, better that you are ready rather than you are surprised when you get there. Because Bam does have power, He does have athleticism, speed, but it's nothing that in a way can't contend with, as I suspect. Plus the power as well. I think he's more superior to Bams. Can Bam take that power at a higher division? Right? I don't know. And in a way, slightly the larger man. Not by a huge amount, but slightly the larger man, my guys. My people. But it'll be a great fight to see when it happens. They are targeting it for February. That is the idea for it to happen in Japan, which makes sense because in a way is much bigger in Japan than Bam is in the US. So yeah, it'll be a great fight. And when it does happen, Turkey Al Sheikh and Ring Magazine are looking to host this one. And I say, let's get it in time, at the right time when it happens. With that said, should we move on to a certain Mr. Tyson Fury and Mr. Anthony Joshua? Man, oh man, the whole idea of this fight is a headache. It's going through so many loops and turns, you know. Anyway, the talking point right now is where they're actually going to stage the fight. All right, and it looks like they want to stage it in Vegas. They want to stage it in Vegas, in the US, and not in the UK. And that is troubling us UK fans big time, because by rights, this is our fight. This is our fight. If you should put who is financing and the money aside and look at it in a moral point of view, this is our fight, man. This is our fight, right? But Turkey, he has something to say. He posted on his social media a statement, just yesterday, stating this, my guys, my people. This is from Turkey Al Sheikh. He said, quote, "Till now, I have not decided yet where the fight will take place and will work for me." Let's exclamate that, right? Will work for me. He has not decided where the fight will work for him. So it's all up to him. It's all up to Turkey, right? He continues. Some people are making up stories about it. If you want to know the facts, take it from me or the Ring magazine. If you want to waste your time, listen to others. I think you have tried me all the past years, and you know that whatever I say, I do. End quotation. And he's right. His reputation does precede him. So we're not going to question that. But he did make it clear it's all up to him. And I hope that it doesn't make this all about money, and he does think about the hardcore fans, the homegrown, who have invested all their energy, their money in bringing these fighters to where they are. It shouldn't be that they're now about to have the biggest fight of their career, the biggest fight in British history. These are the two biggest names in terms of names anyway, right? We're not talking about talent here, we're talking about names, right? So why take that away from the fans? And worst of all, taking it away from the working class, majority of whom would not be able to afford a ticket to go to the US and then afford another ticket at a higher price to watch it in Vegas, when this can be at Wembley Stadium. So if this is going to be about the fans, it really needs to be at Wembley Stadium, you know, in the UK, where the fight ultimately belongs, right? It needs to be at Wembley Stadium. Imagine that fight at Wembley Stadium, 90,000 fans plus. I'm telling you, the outpour of fans and the going in of fans, man, is going to cause a roadblock here in the UK. It's going to cause a record-breaking roadblock here in London. I am telling you, miles and miles and miles and miles of traffic jam and roadblock. I am telling you, it is going to be massive. I hope Turkey will think about it and settle for the UK, settle for the fans, all right? But AJ and Fury too, come on, man. It shouldn't all be about the money. It shouldn't all be about the money. Think about the fans. Now, that said though, right? The UK does have bad weather. November, December, when they are targeting this fight to happen, is very unpredictable when it comes to the UK weather. You can't compare that to Vegas, where you be getting golden sunshine. It gets no better. It gets no better. So, yeah, there's pros and cons as to why this fight should or shouldn't happen. Well, there's pros and cons either way, right? Whether it's Vegas or here in the UK, there's pros and cons, right? But I still rather have it in the UK. Not lying, still rather have it in the UK. It's where it belongs. It's where it belongs. But for now, let's take it as what Turkey has said. It is all speculations. But hopefully, when he makes his announcement, he announces that this fight is taking place in the UK. And hopefully it happens at Wembley Stadium in London, if you please. In London, if you please, right? Now, with that said, there's more trouble concerning this fight as far as I'm concerned, right? Because the way I'm looking at it, right, Turki Al Sheikh has now signed Tyson Fury. But why would Turkey want to do that, and why would Fury also want to join Turki Al Sheikh at this particular point in time when the fight with AJ is already made? Turkey is already the financier of the fight, so the money that Fury is chasing, in Turkey, that's why he signed him, right? But Turkey's already in the fight. He's already in the fight. What's the point signing to Turkey now, unless just putting the pen to paper to sign to him brings maybe some added bonuses? I guess maybe it does. Maybe bonus is good enough for him to say, I don't mind throwing this AJ fight into complete jeopardy, because that is what he's essentially doing by signing to Turkey. Because Turkey, as we know, could plunk Dana White in there as promoter of this fight. All right. And Fury already knows that Dana White, it says on Fury's contract and AJ's contract, it says that Dana White cannot be part of the promotion of this event. Right. So Fury has carved an avenue there for Dana White to wiggle his way into position to become the promoter of this event, as he has been stating time and time again that he is going to be the promoter. So the suspicions are even there now, especially even from when Fury showed his face at the White House. The suspicion is whether he is eventually going to be promoted by Zufar and Dana. And if that's the case, what's happening to Frank Warren? What's happening to Frank Warren? Now, Spencer, manager of Fury, he has stated that Frank Warren is still very much Tyson's Fury's promoter. But I have my worries. I have my doubts. Not worries, really, but I have my doubts. I have my doubts. To what capacity even? To what capacity? So I don't know whether it's going to show up at the AJ Fury fight or whether it's going to be playing any parts at all. As for AJ Fury, if Dana is involved, I don't think that ultimately, I don't think that that's means that they're not going to take the fight. If the money is too good to walk away from and the situation doesn't compromise them in any foreseeable time, now or in the future, then they will take the fight. I reckon that they will take the fight and just pretend Dana doesn't even exist. Really, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to take the fight. And the whole idea of, if this fight doesn't happen, or they want to renegotiate where they want to have this fight, AJ and Eddie Hearn, or should I say Eddie Hearn, has said they have room to renegotiate if that's the case. So there you go. If the numbers are right, I think they will take the fight wherever Turkey wants it. Ultimately, though, about where this fight is going to happen, man. 10 years is taken to take for this fight to happen. So there's a huge side of me as well that believes that, man, let's just get it over and done with, man. Let's just get it over and done with. I'm tired. One thing I'll tell you though, the Americans most certainly do not want this fight. They don't want it, man. I couldn't stand what's his name? Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora. Sergio Mora especially slating Fury and AJ, calling them has-beens, saying that nobody is going to want to see something of that term anyway. But boy, has-beens, it means undesired, right? So yeah, they're undesired in the US. They're undesired in the US, right? So we don't want that. We don't want that. Put them where they are desired, in the UK. In the UK. With that said, Tyson Fury also going on about if Usyk doesn't fight Ejit Cabello and vacates his WBC strap to Ejit Cabello, then he will fight Ejit for the strap. If his very own fight with AJ doesn't happen for some reason or the other, he says. Now, other than him and AJ losing their interim fights, there is no other reason as to why this fight wouldn't happen. All right. But Fury, he knows, right? He knows that the lane that he has taken, joining Turki Al Sheikh, puts AJ and Eddie Hearn in a position to reconsider whether they want this fight that is already signed and sealed and ready to be delivered. So it's taking it into a situation of possible jeopardy. Fury knows. And why is he doing that? What, to take the Ejit Cabello fight? What, Fury, who said nothing is more important to him than money? Ejit Cabello, there's no fight bigger than AJ. Ejit Cabello is not bigger than AJ. So why that fight? Why that fight? Is he spooked by AJ? Now I know Fury, has bought into the hype after he beat Klitschko, he beat Deontay Wilder. Everybody thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. Some people, even Shakur Stevenson, thought he was better than Muhammad Ali. Crazy, that kid. Crazy. Right? And he thought he was the best of the heavyweights. Until Usyk came and showed him otherwise. Twice, right? Showed him otherwise. Twice. Now, he still can claim the best of something now, and that's the best of the Brits, right? But AJ, I think he's worried, could likely show him otherwise too. Likely, AJ's athleticism power is something you can't play with if AJ comes in form. If AJ comes in form. Fury, listen, as I'm speculating, I think AJ beats Fury. I've always thought that, and I still think that now. So I don't know, man. I don't know if Fury spooked and is chasing an Ejit Cabello fight. I'll tell you what though, Turkey wants AJ Fury. He wants AJ Fury. He ain't spent all this time organizing this for Fury to run away from this fight. He's really not. He wants Usyk Ejit Cabello. It makes more sense. It makes more sense. Ukraine, next to Germany, that whole crowd, the fan base, all in one region. It makes more sense, man. Right? It makes more sense. Fury, man, you best let us know. Better let us know. Him and Dana have an announcement to make. They have an announcement to make. Soon. Let's find out what it is, man. What is the announcement? I want to know. I want to know, my guys, my people. Now, with that said, going back to Turkey and Al Sheikh, man, some rather sad news that's been that was sprung up on us, by Turkey Al Sheikh via the Ring magazine. And he said this, right? And I'm reading this because I'm sort of hearing his voice. I'm imagining his voice in very sad tone here. And he said this: I will do my best to do a meeting soon with my brothers Dana White, Nick Khan, Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, and my partners and friends, The Zone, to make peace and revolution for boxing. I hope I succeed and boxing fans see the white smoke rise from the chimney. I want to do it before losing my memory. Damn. I'm afraid in 2028 to 2029, I will forget my name. Damn. End quotation. Now, I can't even imagine what could be going on health-wise with Turki Al Sheikh here. But some news did break a while ago, some time ago, right? That he was fighting brain cancer. I don't know the situation, what the situation is about that now, and whether that is connected to what he's talking about here. But this is sad to hear, man. And man, all the best to him. I hope that none of his words here come into reality, because this is hard, man. This is hard. And he's talking about unifying his brothers. He mentions Eddie Hearn there, he mentions Frank Warren. So it looks like there's no hard feelings, even though Frank Warren and Turkey are in a situation of litigations right now, right? Which we won't get into, but there's no hard feelings. Plus the situation that looks like is going to have Dana White promoting his fighter. That's what it looks like to me. But that said, man, Turki Al Sheikh, in terms of unifying boxing, has done a great deal, especially here in the UK, where he has Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn working together for so many years. I don't think they even met one another, right? And for sure didn't want to work with one another. But until Turkey came with the bag of cash that made everybody see the gain in actually working with one another, because they don't have to put up money anymore for promoting the fights. Turki Al Sheikh is financing everything. So the networks were benefiting, the promotions were benefiting, the fighters especially were benefiting. Now, if Turki Al Sheikh can't do that anymore, or he's not around, God forbid, to do that, I just see boxing falling apart again. He's gonna go back to a state where the promotions are going to be doing what they like, back to before. Fighters, promotions not looking to take risk with fighters from other promotions. Fighters not willing to take risk in 50-50 fights. Look how long it took Better Beef to make. Turkey sorted that out. Not once, but twice. Fury Usyk, Turkey sorted it out. Not once, but twice. And the first one was undisputed. The second one was a unification. AJ Dubois, who sorted it out? Turkey. And maybe the hardest one of them all, right? Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford, sorted it out brilliantly. So, man, he needs to stay around for a while longer, man, and I hope he does. I hope he does. This is sad news. I hope he recovers, man. I hope he recovers. With that said, all right, who should we talk about now? Johnny Fisher. So Johnny Fisher, he's now a free agent and is looking for a home now to make a success of his career. I think his career in the real world of boxing, in real pro boxing as he is now, is in absolute jeopardy, because he's going to be absolute food at matchroom. He's going to be food at matchroom, I reckon. You can't be having these journeyman fights forever. He got the scare from Ballas in his last fight, and that's a journeyman. He got a scare in the very first round. Had to fight through turbulence. to finally stop Ballas, right? And he was this big hype to be a possible title contender, so Eddie Hearn put it, and he did a good job at it because he can at least fill the couple box. The couple box is literally his home. The couple box is literally his home. How much is the couple box? Like 8,000, right? Is it up to 8,000? I'm not sure. Maybe. No matter where he goes, he's just going to be food. He's going to be food in any realm of this, real world of boxing. And I think it was, what's his name? Liam Goff. I don't know why he called himself that. G-Man, right? I prefer to call him G-Man. He said Mitfits would be a great place for him. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Right? If you want to know the reasons, go to his channel, man. Go to his channel. He's making a lot of sense. I think Misfits is best for him. If he wants to keep making a healthy, good amount of money, where he's not going to be seeing any threats at Misfit. It's just as simple as that, right? And his character fits in the whole loud Essex run football thing about him, beer drinking, pub environment sort of. Yeah, it all fits into the whole Misfit agenda, right? So yeah, man, put him right in there. Put him right in there. Now, we're gonna make this one short. Moses Itauma will finally get the test of his life so far in his career of boxing. That is going to be on the 29th of August. He's going up against Philip Hrgovic. Finally, right? The test is going to be a hard test. It's going to be a hard test and a huge jump from Dylan White and Jermaine Franklin. And his first fight at world level. And he's not just targeting the top 10, he's targeting the Ring Magazine's number 5. The Ring Magazine's number 5. Now, Moses Itauma is ranked number 6. But for what? For what? He hasn't really beat anyone. He's just ranked that high based on the eye test because he's just looked that good that we all believe he's the future of the division. I'm telling you, he has the talent to stop Hrgovic, the speed, the power. He's got everything to stop Hrgovic. I have to say, Hrgovic though has got a great chin. He has got a great chin, and Moses Itauma has not seen deep waters. Hrgovic, if not anything else, right, he's well equipped to take Moses Itauma into deep waters. So Moses Itauma has to take this one very seriously, and he has to be well prepared. Ultimately, he has to be well prepared. Now, Hrgovic has been stopped, right? But never been knocked out. He's been knocked down by Zhilei Zhang, and he got stopped by Daniel Dubois on cuts, right? So didn't get stopped, didn't get knocked spark out, right? So yeah, this is going to be a test. I hope Moses Itauma is ready. I believe in him anyway. The weapon of imminent destruction. Yeah, that's all I have for you on this one, my guys, my people. Thanks for watching, by the way. But before you leave, do like as usual. Of course, share, subscribe, drop your comments below, all that good stuff. And let's catch up on the next one. Stay blessed, my guys, my people. We out of there. Stay blessed.